Real estate agents spend a ridiculous amount of time doing admin work that technically isn't hard, but it never stops. Property inquiries, inspection coordination, monitoring listing changes, checking the market, creating content, updating systems, following up on information. So we have built a packaged AI agent specifically for Australian real estate agents, and the goal here isn't to replace the agent. It's to automate the kind of work you'd normally need a PA or admin support person to stay on top of. In this video, I'm going to show you the first set of capabilities I've already built, how it works in practice, and why I think this is a genuinely useful model for boutique agencies and solo operators. Just to set expectations properly, because this is not some generic AI chatbot with a real estate label slapped on it. This is an operational agent built on OpenClaw that can monitor systems, read and act on incoming information, use browser automation, work across Slack and a custom web UI, and trigger workflows based on real events. So instead of asking, can AI answer a question? The better question is, can AI actually help run parts of an agent's day-to-day operations? That's what I'm interested in. The version I'm showing here is focused on the kinds of tasks that are repetitive, time-sensitive, and process-driven. The exact sort of tasks agents often end up hiring support staff to manage. My main objective with this agent overall is to give it the tools to act a step ahead and act with initiative. You can message the agent directly and give it updates on your business like you would with a human. But we want to give it the tools to be tapped into your current system so that it knows automatically when things are happening, like when you've listed a new property. The agent can check your agency's listings page every day and detects when properties are added or removed. When it sees a new listing, it can go into the actual listing page, pull the property information, collect the images, and store those assets so they're already organized and available for downstream use. It will let you know when it notices you've listed a property and ask relevant questions to ensure the information it has is accurate. It will sync inspections directly with your calendar if they are not already present. That might sound simple, but we want you to be able to trust that just like a good human PA, you don't have to tell it to do everything, and it's a step ahead of everything. This is probably one of the most practically useful parts. The agent monitors incoming email and can triage property inquiries automatically. If a buyer asks a question that the system already has the answer to, it can respond immediately. If the answer isn't available, it can escalate to the agent and ask for the missing information. Then, and this is the important part, once the agent answers that question, the system can log that answer so the next time someone asks the same thing, it doesn't need to bother the agent again. So over time, it becomes more useful because it's building an internal memory around the kinds of questions buyers keep asking. It can also ignore irrelevant emails based on the agent's instructions while flagging certain senders or certain types of emails that the agent actually wants surfaced. And because it can read and act on calendar information as well, it can help with things like private inspections. For example, if someone wants a private inspection, the agent can check the calendar, identify whether there's availability, and help coordinate that booking flow instead of leaving the human to bounce back and forth manually. That's where this starts to feel less like AI replying to emails and more like an actual administrative assistant. This next one is one of my favorites. The agent can monitor the market across specified areas. Right now, I've set that up by postcode, but it's completely customizable. Every day, it scrapes listings in those target areas, logs the data, and compares it with the previous day. That means it can identify new properties added, properties removed, price changes, and other listing changes over time. Then it sends a report by email and Slack summarizing what changed. What I really like about this is the pricing visibility. I'm filming this in March 2026, where due to world events, properties are passing in at auction at pretty high rates, and sellers are having to discount properties from their initial expectations. This web scraper can present you that data every morning without you having to scroll through realestate.com.au and log properties every day or try and spot things that have changed. As you can see, this is a report from live data over the last few days in Brisbane, and you can see all of these properties have been added, removed, but the change log here specifically shows that yesterday the price field was this, and now it's this. and there are a lot of opportunities here with big discounts that could be acted on. Even if an agent relists the property across listings, the agent will notice the same address listed twice, listed between two agencies, and so on. And this is ultimately completely customizable. Any sort of reports that can be generated based on listings that are scraped every day are completely possible, and we are always open to suggestions. So if an agent wants pricing movement reports, suburb activity summaries, or specific competitive monitoring, that becomes very achievable. Another capability I've built in is daily reporting on specific topics. For example, I've set it up to source AI news, Australian economic stories, and other topics I care about, then send a report straight to my inbox each day. And because it's conversational, I can follow up and ask it to dig further into a particular story. This matters because once you have an agent that can monitor, filter, summarize, and then continue the conversation, it becomes a much better research assistant than a static newsletter ever could. So as you can see here, I have it set to return me the top posts on a list of different subreddits. I'll read through them every day and just message back and say, elaborate on this, this, and this, and it can summarize them really quickly for me. It's an extremely efficient way to get caught up on multiple news sources, and it then leads into us being able to easily automate social media content based on news stories, which I will talk about next. This is probably the part I'm most impressed by personally. I've set the system up to generate social media image content for real estate agencies. Things like sold graphics, inspection times, listing promos, and other templated marketing content. And instead of relying on paid design APIs, I'm rendering this content through HTML. That gives a huge amount of control. It's accurate, consistent, detailed, fast, and basically free from an API cost point of view. It can generate generic templated content, but it can also be used to create outputs that feel highly on brand because HTML rendering gives you very fine control over layout, typography, spacing, colors, logos, and reusable structures. And this doesn't stop at social posts. The same approach extends to things like email newsletters and other branded visual content. Honestly, I'm really bullish on this workflow because I spent time experimenting with Canva-style approaches, image models, and template tools, and for repeatable branded business content, HTML rendering is just better. It's faster, more controllable, and more consistent. The agent can also edit websites directly. Now, I'm not saying real estate agencies should abandon their CRM and let an AI run their listing website from scratch, although technically you could do more in that direction if you wanted to. What I mean is that the system can work directly with code bases and repositories to make website changes, which is actually how I've been building a lot of my own workflow automations Australia setup. So this isn't limited to inbox and admin support. It can also assist with digital operations more broadly. On top of that, the system can unify multiple message platforms into one place depending on the stack you want to connect. So if an agent or agency is juggling different communication channels, the AI can be made aware of that and monitor across them in a much more centralized way. And then there's browser automation. This means the agent can go and do browser-based tasks like finding information, making bookings, updating records, interacting with web apps, scraping websites, or carrying out repetitive admin actions inside existing systems. That flexibility is important because in the real world, agency processes are messy. Not everything has a clean API. Sometimes the work just lives inside a browser, and the system needs to be able to operate there. So overall, these are just the first set of capabilities. But even this first version already covers a meaningful chunk of the work that real estate agents often pay admin staff or PAs to stay on top of. That's really the lens I'm looking through. What are the repetitive operational tasks that can be automated reliably while still keeping the human agent in control where judgment matters? This isn't about replacing relationships. It's about removing low-leverage admin work and building a system that helps agents move faster, stay organized, and scale their operations without immediately needing more headcount. And the main thing is, this does not stop here. These are just the foundations. As the workflows get deeper, the memory gets better, and the integrations expand, this becomes less of a single-purpose tool and more like a real operational layer for the business.